Hello friends, this is Will Dodd from Georgia Youth Science and Technology Centers, and you're watching episode 1 of Prepping for the JunkBot Battle. The best place to start when prepping for the JunkBot Battle is the official GYSTC 30th Anniversary Extravaganza website that I set up. This is where you'll find all updates and all information you need to know about the JunkBot Battle. Now, when you get here, you're going to notice a couple things. Here's our flyer. You'll notice the official JunkBot Battle rules down here. Keep in mind, the first place winner, you will win this Ender 3 3D printer for your school. But let's check out those official JunkBot Battle rules. So if you click there, it's going to take you to this document. The two things you need to know starting out, the main two constraints that you'll be working with for building your JunkBot is first, your JunkBot must weigh under 1.5 pounds. For size, it must be under 1.5 foot in both length and width. So those are the two big things you're working with. Now, for the battles themselves, your robot is going to be facing off against another robot in a 4 foot by 4 foot square. You can start in any one of these corners that's not taken up by your opponent. And the main objective is to either disable your opponent or push your opponent outside of this 4 foot by 4 foot ring. Now, the matches are only 3 minutes in length. So if neither one of the robots gets knocked out or pushed out of the arena here, we will resort to, or the judges will resort to, the unclear winner scoring rubric. So you can read up on that and read up on the rest of the rules. Of course, send me any questions that you have. Now, this website will be linked in the video notes down at the bottom on YouTube. And I'm going to show you a couple more things. So there are almost an infinite amount of options on how you can build your robot for the JunkBot Battle. Some individuals that I've talked to already, they're going with some traditional robotics kits like Robo or Lego or even Vex Robotics. And that's an option. You could do that. But in the spirit of being a JunkBot, I've started creating my own JunkBot, trying to keep the budget as low as possible. So going with free items that I can find. So let me show you what I got so far. I've started with, see if I can bring up a picture here. This old remote control car that was broken. So I got to say thank you to my boys. They donated this to the cause. So we cracked this baby open, and inside there's all kinds of great stuff, namely the motors. So I plan on grabbing this motor and the motor that steers the car and actually putting those into probably a cardboard box. I just got a thing for cardboard boxes so that I can drive that around with a tethered remote, just made out of some buttons. So we're going to get to that, but let me show you what I've done so far. So me and my boys, we cracked this open. I got out the motor, and thankfully the gearbox just pops out with it, with the axle and the wheels already intact. So like I said, I'm probably going to drop this into a funny looking box of some sort and actually make it drive around. So where I'm at so far is I've got the gearbox, and I've got to make the thing run. So what I've chosen is one of these lithium-ion cell phone battery packs. Now, I got to say, I went with this model because it's got a safety mechanism. It actually turns off if there's any kind of short in your system. It automatically turns off, because if you don't have a safety mechanism on something like a lithium-ion battery, things can get kind of nasty. They do have a tendency of overheating and getting hot, possibly even catching on fire. So that brings me to my next point. If you're working with any of this, make sure you've got fire safety tools on hand. So like a fire blanket, that's probably the best, or even a fire extinguisher. Those are all good. However, what I've done with this is just like a $10, $15 cell phone battery bank. I've modified the USB cable so that I've got a positive and negative terminal here that I can access. So what I've done is I've just put 2 little lead wires into this, and I've connected those lead wires to the terminals on the DC motor. So I've just hooked up that battery to the DC motor, and what I'm going to do is show you a quick video of what that looks like when I'm running it. And my plans for this are, I want to go ahead and hook up the servo for the front wheels as well, and house that all into a box. And again, what I plan on doing is just using some long wire to connect to both of those, and just having a few buttons that do a couple things. So really, there probably is not going to be a whole lot of coding and probably not a whole lot of spending money other than that lithium ion battery that I already had on hand and the junk car that I already had on hand. So this hopefully gives you an idea on where to head, and I will be sending you updates on how my JunkBot is going.